System science in Ukraine is in an unstable state, despite the promised improvement after the Bromide says, the relevant edition of Nature in the article entitled, After 5 Years of the Scientific Revolution in the Ukraine lame. National expenditures on science remain low, state funding is used inefficiently, and low pay prevents talented students to start a scientific career in the country, is spoken in the publication. As Nature writes, the revolution of dignity, which led to the rupture of relations with Russia, Ukraine and the election of a pro-European government, has given scientists hope for a partnership with the West and exit from the international isolation, the reform legacy of the Soviet scientific system and increased spending on research and development. However, state spending on science has fallen to historically low 0.16% of TDD in 2016 and since then has not significantly increased, which hinders modernization of the scientific base and limits the ability of Ukrainian researchers to compete with their colleagues from wealthier countries. Texas, the leading favorite television shows of President Donald Trump, Fox and Friends, loves to voice broadcast conspiracy theories that play into the hands of the White House, writes The Guardian. During a debate in the studio of Fox on the subject, is it possible to have yesterday's pizza, which is not hidden in the refrigerator, Texas said that not washing your hands the last 10 years and not see this as a problem. Later on Twitter he said that he was joking, and, to paraphrase Trump, accused the media that they are arrogant and angry. However, he insists he can drink water directly from a hose and ride a bike without a helmet. The finding, made in Gabon, about 2.1 billion years earlier, the country had already found the remains of a well-known, but their age was only 570 million years. Using X-ray analysis by an international team led by scientists from the University of Poitiers in France, found in the residual sludge tubular fur made by organisms that may have been similar to a colony of amoebae that have accumulated due to lack of resources and moved in search of more favorable environment. The results of the study showed that some motile and primitive organisms in the marine ecosystem was complex enough to move through the silt, rich in organic matter. This is a biological innovation was a prelude to the more advanced forms of movement, or the experiment, which was cut through a sharp decrease in the level of oxygen in the atmosphere, which occurred approximately a billion years ago. Scientists argue in the journal Proceedings of National Academy of Sciences. Some parents in the United States noticed that after watching a popular animated show, Peppa Pig, their children began to speak with a British accent and use unusual words, and writes the Daily Mail. In addition, sometimes children finish phrases cromony, following favorite cartoon characters. My little nephew said with a British accent, which no one in the family saw. I asked his father about it, and proved that it's because he's watching the Peppa Pig. The newspaper quoted one of the tweets on this topic.